everybody, and this is Neelafar Gibson with Honest Mom, and today I'm going to give you tips of how to find a Montessori school for your child. But first, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Alright, so just like finding a nanny, it's kind of a similar process. So the first thing you want to do is make a list of kind of what you're looking for a Montessori school for your child. What are deal breakers for you? You know, price, location, curriculum, the teachers, the environment, amenities. I mean, these kind of things, keep in mind of what you're looking for. I mean, for us, distance was kind of a deal breaker. I didn't want to drive more than 20 minutes or even more than 15 minutes to take Ryker to school. So you kind of have to consider these things when you're looking. So first, make a list of what you're looking for in a Montessori school. Second is do your research early. Let me tell you why. Some of these places have a 6 month to a year waiting list. So don't think that like, okay, I can enroll, you know, my child like tomorrow into a school, and they have waiting lists because their classrooms are a certain capacity and they have to wait for that class to kind of graduate to the next class where they can have an open spot. So that's the number 2 tip. Number 1 is make a list. Number 2 is to do your research super early. Now, where the heck do you find a Montessori school for your child? Like, where do you start? Well, just like finding a nanny, ask friends and family. Those are such a great, reliable source because they're personal. You can have great conversations, ask questions, find out if their child liked the school. Maybe they'll tell you a school that they didn't like, and then they switch schools and find out what school that was. Just having these conversations with other parents is such a great place to start. The other place you can look for is good old Yelp. I love Yelp. I use Yelp for everything. So why not use it to find a school for my son? And I did a lot of cross-referencing. So just put in Yelp and then you can put your location and you can kind of find some schools that way. And then once you find, you know, maybe I would say don't schedule more than 3 or 4 tours. So you can first, you know, you would reach out to the schools. A lot of them have forms online. You can call them. I liked giving them a phone call just because I can kind of ask my questions right there instead of waiting for an email, but a lot of them have, you know, email and they'll respond to that as well. And you want to first kind of maybe ask some questions there. First of all, like, do they have availability? And if you say you have a timeline for yourself, and like for us, like we wanted to sign Ryker up in 6 months and they said, well, we're like totally booked. We don't know when it's going to be open. So we put that school off the list because I'm not gonna like wait around for a year. And so that was off, you know, maybe right away, you know, the price was like, okay, then we're not gonna go along with this tour. So you can start filtering out some of the schools by just the phone calls and the emails you make based on kind of the information you initially received from the school. I know there was one school that literally was $600 more a month than another school, and I was like, And once I talked to the person, I was like, okay, this seems like exactly like the other school. So I ruled it off because that was a lot of extra money per month that I can use for groceries and other things. So anyway, so kind of you can rule out some of the schools, and then you want to schedule tours. You want to do an in-person tour. Now, I knew there was one school that they weren't doing in-person due to COVID, and they had a virtual tour, they had like a Zoom tour, and you can ask questions, and that kind of worked out. But you want to do 3 or 4, don't do more than that. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. And then once you go to your first tour, you kind of have a really good idea what you're looking for because you can kind of see in reality what's going on. Now for us, after we did the first tour, we were very overwhelmed, but at the same time we were like, oh, okay. Then we did a second tour, we're like, oh, okay, I like this school better than this school because of this. So you kind of will start getting more comfortable of what you're looking for. For sure, you take your child with you to these tours. I mean, for sure, because you want to see, again, how they interact with the teachers that are there, with the director that's giving the tour, how they interact with the environment, how the children are with your child. You know what I mean? Like, are they showing kindness? Do you know what I mean? Like, these kind of things are really important. And so you want to bring your child. And at most of the schools that we went to, actually all of the schools that we toured, they allowed Ryker to kind of play with the toys, play outside with the kids, interact. A lot of the time the director would have Ryker do an activity. So he had a lot of hands-on, which was so great to see how he would interact in an environment. So definitely bring your child with you. So you obviously want to schedule a tour when it's during their waking hours, not when it's close to a nap time. We like to do a lot of this. We did a lot of the tours in the morning because that's when Ryker was like the most alert and he wasn't hungry or too tired. So definitely bring your child with you. And then once you tour a school, you know, you come back with your partner, or if you're a single parent, you kind of figure out like, okay, what did I like about the school? What did I not like about the school? How did my child interact? And you kind of will know. I mean, we, for example, I'll let you know our kind of experience. The first school that we toured, we loved the amenities. We loved the school. It was beautiful. We loved the curriculum. The price was great. The location was great. But I have to say, the director I did not like, and that's somebody that you're going to have a lot of contact with. If there's an issue with your child or with a teacher or with anything, that's the person that's going to be your point of contact. And she was a little condescending, and I did not like that at all. I'm sorry. I was like, so that school was off the list. As much as I loved the curriculum and I loved the school and I loved the environment, I was like, nope. That was a deal breaker for me, and it was for my husband too. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And then we toured a few more schools and they were all really great. And then we finally came to this one, which I fell in love with. Ryker fell in love with, my husband fell in love with. And it's a small, intimate school. It's a great location, really close to our home. I love the director and I love the teachers, and Ryker really loved it, and we just like fell in love, and it all worked out. And Ryker's gonna be starting, I'm gonna cry, like I just can't believe my baby's growing up, but he's gonna start school in a couple months, and just for a couple days a week, you know, for half a day. But we're just so happy that we found our Montessori school for Ryker. We're so excited. We honestly did not think he was gonna start school until he was 3, but he's getting so bored of us. He is wanting to learn. He is learning so quickly. So we just decided to do it early, and yeah, I'm really excited for it. So it's a process, but you know, you're gonna find that perfect school for your child. And again, the steps that you wanna take is do your research early, and also ask friends and family, go look at Yelp, you know, contact these schools, rule them out, start scheduling some tours, and then you'll make a decision. You'll just know, you know, just go with your gut feeling with some of these school tours that you do. You'll just ask questions. I had a lot of follow-up questions because sometimes when you're doing these tours, you're overwhelmed, you don't know what to ask. So I did like an email and a phone call with follow-up questions, and then that's it. I also want to address like why we chose Montessori versus preschool. So I'm going to tell you guys honestly, the reason why we chose Montessori is because I've just based on experience with friends that have taken their kids to Montessori schools, and kind of their experience of how the child is just allowed to kind of learn. They kind of learn on their pace, and just reading about it and learning about it, I just really felt like this would be a right fit for Ryker. Now, I'm not saying anything against preschool. I'm sure there's some preschools with some great programs, and I know there is because we actually did look at preschools too. So I was trying to have an open mind, and we try to compare Montessori and preschool. And one of the preschools actually was very, very impressive, and we loved it, and we actually wanted to maybe consider it. But the price was just actually higher than the Montessori school, and their waiting list was too long, and so it just wasn't meant to be. And so we ended up with the Montessori school, and I just love the program, and I just think it's so perfect for Ryker. But anyways, you guys, that's my experience. That's our experience with choosing a school for Ryker. I hope these tips will help you find the right school for your child. Please comment below if you have any questions, or if you have any tips that you want to share. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like these types of videos. And I can't wait to share with you guys Ryker's first day when it comes. I'm sure I'm going to film it, and I'll share that right here for you guys so you can see, and I'll do like a post day as well. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!